So if you're like a lot of us and you're trying to cut down on the carbs, but you don't want to give up your yummy pancakes that you might have occasionally, I have a recipe here I'm putting together that's going to add fiber, it's going to add some flavor, and it's also going to add protein to those pancakes. So let's get cooking. Here I have about a cup of flour. You can use as much flour as you need to make the amount of pancakes you're going to need for yourself or your group. I'm going to add just about a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And then I'm going to add about 1 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm not going to add salt to this. Normally I would if I wasn't using one of these ingredients, and you'll see what it is. So we're not going to add salt, but we are going to add some cottage cheese. So I'm going to add cottage cheese. Yep, this is the protein, the added protein. So that's about 2 tablespoons. You can adjust for the amount. I'm also going to add some pumpkin, 100% pureed pumpkin. This is canned pumpkin. It's a heaping tablespoon in there. I could put this all in. I think I'll just use it keep it at the heaping tablespoon, or heaping tablespoon and a half. Okay, and then you're going to add blueberries. You can use fresh blueberries, or you can use frozen blueberries. Since I have these out of the freezer, I'll throw in my frozen blueberries today. We're also going to add a little bit of sugar. I hardly ever use white sugar for anything. I have brown sugar here. You could probably even use honey, although I haven't tried it, but I bet you could. And you could add about a tablespoon, really no more, depending on how sweet you like it, but you're going to have syrup on top, no doubt. So you're going to add some sugar in there. So you have that all in your bowl, and then you're going to add your milk. This is 2% milk, but I've used whole milk, 1%. Whatever you have is fine. I'm going to add the milk and stir around and just watch your consistency. Okay, and after the milk, you're going to add in 1 egg. Okay, put the egg in there, and now we're going to stir it. You don't want to over-stir or over-mix pancake mix. Now, another little hint is if you want them a little extra fluffy, you can actually make this batter ahead of time and leave it sit for a while. I mean, I've done it for about 20 minutes. I have heard some people leave it sit for an hour and have fluffier pancakes, but for expediency's sake and for the sake of this video, I'm just going to mix it around. That's what I usually do anyway. But you can leave it sit for fluffier pancakes. Now I have a griddle over here. Let's see, we'll turn my camera around to the griddle. And we're going to put some on a hot, and I use a little whipped butter for this griddle. So buttered griddle or some oil I've done with very frequently. You want to cook it at about, mine's not really hot enough there, about a medium heat. And the thing is with pancakes, the first pancake is really one that is not going to be your best because it takes, for some reason, it takes the griddle or the pan some time to cook a pancake, and then it just seems the pancakes that come after that are so much better, and they cook so much better. So that's a tip too. So you're going to have a pancake on there that's going to cook, and you certainly can eat it, but the ones you're going to have after this first little pancake are going to be better. So for the sake of my video here, we won't take all the time, it doesn't take long, but you want to cook a pancake on your griddle at medium heat, and you want to have it cook on one side till you see it bubbling up. So you see little bubbles forming on the top of your pancake. When you see little bubbles forming on the top of your pancake, that means it's a good time to flip it over. You don't want them to get too dark, unless you'd like really dark pancakes. I like them kind of medium myself. So this one is, it's starting. You can see it starting to cook around the edges. Not quite bubbling up. For the sake of the video, I'm going to flip it. Okay? And now this is the pancake that's not going to be as good as the rest. But main point of the video is to your pancake batter, add some fiber with pumpkin, and you can add other fruits too. You can add apples to it, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, whatever you like, really, and some cottage cheese. And the reason we didn't add a little salt to the batter is because the cottage cheese, excuse me, has salt in it. Unless you're buying the non-salted cottage cheese, then you might want to add a little salt. So that's the recipe. The flour, the pumpkin, the cottage cheese, the egg, a touch of brown sugar, the milk, and enjoy it. Don't feel guilty about eating sometimes.